the story of our band is trying.
You toured for a while now, almost a year. Did it took a long time for you to get noticed by a big label?
Yeah, I mean, well, let's see. I mean, we had just a little, like a development deal 3 years ago or 4 years ago with a label, and then that didn't work out kind of because of what we're talking about, like working with producers and not being able to get what we want and that kind of thing. And then we disappeared again, and then came back. But I mean, yeah, I mean, we've been in a band for 7 years, so I guess we just finally, like, it definitely took a long time to, like, get out on our way.
Was there a lot of frustration in that 7 years that there wasn't any progress in finding a label?
I mean, not really, in a weird way. I mean, because for some reason we sort of always put it on ourselves, like, you have to make it work, you have to be good enough and it's like, not really like blaming the world for anything.
Yeah, and we worked for so long on so many different things that it almost didn't seem like, oh, well, you know, why can't we get a record deal, why can't we do this? It was always like, well, this is why we haven't figured it out yet, you know, and like this thing, again, just building.
Kind of having fun along the way.
Yeah, we did. I don't think we're disappointed about not being world famous. We were just playing and trying to figure it out, and yeah, just hanging out with our friends. It wasn't miserable, it was cool.
Okay. Do you have the feeling that the sound of the band is still coming closer to each other?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope.
Yeah,
you never want to arrive. That's what Bob Dylan said. You never want to arrive where it is you're headed creatively.
Okay.
You always want to be headed somewhere. So hopefully there's a lot left for us to do that's new and different and strange and experimental. I don't know.
Yeah, because in those 7 years there are how much songs on this album? 12 or?
11, I think, made the record, yeah.
Yeah, in that 7 year, I can imagine you wrote a lot more songs than that 11 songs. What happened to them, or what's going to happen with them?
Some of them just become B-sides, you know, like they need just to record a B-side, so they just go take an old song and record it. But for the most part, I mean, we're pretty good, like, self-judges of ourselves for the most part, like, not just insane. So it's like their songs weren't necessarily as good or as like, they just weren't as good, you know. So it's like this record is like the end of the evolution of where we're at, and it's probably the best kind of stuff.
End of a 7-year journey.
Yeah.
You toured a lot through the UK. Why did you put so much attention in the UK and not in the United States, where you're from?
That's a good question. I guess it was because almost a year ago now, we got played by Radio 1 in the UK, and we got written up by The Guardian for some reason. And so I think when we signed our record deal, they saw that the UK was kind of taking off on its own, that people were hearing us because of nationalized radio, which America doesn't have. Everyone in the country hears you, like, the first time you get played. So I think it's attractive to American bands for that reason anyway, that you can come to the UK and get played on one radio station or two radio stations, and suddenly everyone in the whole country knows who you are. And yeah, it's a strange tradition of American bands going to the UK and breaking there and then going back.
Does it have something to do with the common music taste there, or is it something else?
I think it does. I think there's like a really mainstream kind of audience for our style of music, and for bands like the Killers or...
There's kind of like a little less mindcast there, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's like a little more like of a centralized opinion in England, a little bit, whereas America's just, it's not even close to that.
America's like just insane. It's country music and R&B and just ridiculous insanity. I mean, I don't know, that's that way everywhere, but the UK seems to have a good taste about it for whatever reason, so, and really in line with our style of music, so it seemed to make sense. Hopefully we'll go back to the States. I mean, no one knows who we are over there. It's like telling all our friends, like, we're huge in England and Europe.
Do they believe you if you tell them?
No. They're like, yeah, right. See ya. I don't know. Maybe some of them might. We get to play on TV and stuff like that. But.
Thank you for your time.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.